It is.
Moving on, we got a topic that I told Aaron to not talk about for a minute. Young QBs that we don't think will win a Super Bowl. I wanted to stop him because I think Josh Allen should be the number one topic. The last 2 or 3 years, it's been Josh Allen. You got to win it. You got to win. You got to win.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
keep falling short. Is
hmm
Josh Allen ever going to get that Super Bowl?
I think he'll win one.
You think
I
he
think
got?
it'll
He's
be
gonna get
late.
one?
I don't think it'll be in the next few years. I think if he doesn't win it with the Bills, I think he pulls a Matthew Stafford and goes to an NFC team. If the NFC still stays weak like it is now, we might see a conference shifting in the next few years. We don't know. But I think he goes to where the weakness is and he goes to a weak division. And that's how he ends up going and winning one if he doesn't win one with the Bills. I don't think if I was taking over under of like one, I would take the under. Like I don't think he's winning 4 or 5 like we originally were starting to look at him as that next, you know, Peyton Manning or but we think about seven that Brady only had 7 in 23 years.
Yeah.
Like oh wow, he had
He
seven.
he
That's
also
seven in
had
23
he
years.
had 3 in his first 7 years and another
Yeah.
4 in his last 8 years. Like
hmm
there's a
Like
massive gap in the
Peyton
middle where
Manning,
he didn't go for
Peyton
10
Manning
years.
had two. Brett Favre had one. Drew Brees had one. Dan Marino had none.
Rodgers had 1. Russ had
Yeah,
1.
like it's just these are very. People are like, oh yeah, he'll win four. It's like you realize there's Joe Burrow has to get one. Patrick Mahomes has to get more. Like there's just quarterbacks that Jalen Hurts is going to be a good up and coming quarterback. It looks like, Dak might win one if the Cowboys can figure it out. Like these are quarterbacks that it's going to spread the wealth around. They're gonna it the it's just the Bills. I think they'll win one. That's my opinion on it. But I think he will win one. To answer your question, if this young quarterback will win a Super Bowl, I think he gets one.
Yeah, I think one's the most. I don't think I if there was an over under at 1.5,
Yeah.
I might take the under.
Oh, 100%.
If there was an over under at point 0.5, I might take the under. I think there's a chance he
I
has a
think
win
the
one.
over on that one.
I think there's a
I
chance he
think
has a
he has
win
a
one.
better chance of winning one than he has of chancing winning none. Just because how talented he truly is. If he had better support at running back and a few other positions, I think he'd be a super. If he had Andy Reid as a coach, he'd be in the same spot Patrick Mahomes is.
That's unfair. That's unfair.
That's
We're not bringing that
that's
up.
unfair. I'm just saying that's where that's just that's the NFL though. Like that's
Yeah.
just I think he deserves one. That's his talent level. I think he's good enough to in a fluke year where there's injuries or something like that, or the ball tips one way. I think the Bills will win one with Josh Allen.
Okay. What do you feel about Joe Burrow? Do you think he can win multiple Super Bowls, or will he ever win one?
That's a tough one. Um, I think there needs to be a team after Kansas City when Andy Reid retires. I think Kansas City will return to power. But I think it might take a few years. I think Nagy's going to take over for Andy Reid. That's my early assumption. I think he's the one, and I think it takes him a few years to return to that same success level. So that being said, there has to be a team that goes out there and wins a few while Kansas City's on a few downstrings. Um, and I think Cincinnati is the best team that's looking to do that. Like if in those years, if there's a 5 year window, like Kansas City can't win it every single year and an NFC team can't win it every single year. Like Kansas City's not going to continue to make every for the next 10 years. They're not going to make every single AFC championship. You just can't. It's just eventually this will end. It's what a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of it. It's only been 5 years." And eventually this has to end. And I think the next team up would be the Bengals. They're just up and coming. They're hitting on every draft pick. It's just they got some young players to pay, yeah, but like if they're hitting on every draft pick, they don't need to pay those players. They're getting other guys. And so at that point, I think Joe Burrow at least wins one. I think he'll end up with two or three though.
Are they all with the Bengals, or does he go to another team, or is he a lifer?
I think he is the only quarterback on any of these lists that could be a lot. Like I even think Patrick Mahomes is an untouchable.
Oh, he's
Like
untouchable.
I
He's
think
untouchable. He's a lifer.
I truly
He's a
I don't
lifer.
know. I We thought Tom Brady was though, and then he went to the Tampa.
Yeah,
That's just like
yeah. You have a good point. You have a good point.
that's where like he's untouchable with Andy Reid. If they hire him a complete joke of a coach, you really think he's not going to be like, I'm going to go coach for another good, really good coach? we've seen him without good coordinating. We saw it in college, and we've even seen it in the NFL. He goes through these random spurts that Andy Reid always gets him out of. If he doesn't have that coach, though, I think he can leave. So that's where I think Joe Burrow is from Ohio. He has love in Ohio.
I agree
Like
with that.
that's where I think.
I do very much agree with that. That you're right. Without Andy Reid, he's not untouchable because let's say it's 6 years from now, right? Andy Reid
Mhm.
retires in 3 or 4 years. 6 years from
He's
now,
66 right now, 67.
he's done after this year. Anyway, let's just say, and let's say the next coach ruin like they have a terrible working relationship. They go 5-12, and like Brett Veach stays with that head coach, and
Yeah.
Patrick Holmes is like, I want him out. That's right. I think there's a
I
chance that
think
there
it's a
could be.
similar. I think it's a similar situation that the Lions had with Stafford. We have so much respect for you. Name your team. We'll send you there. If it ever happens like that, I would lean more towards him being staying with Kansas City. I'm just saying he's the. I think Joe Burrow is the only quarterback in
Yeah,
this league that's untouchable.
I
I
agree.
think he will retire a Cincinnati Bengal.
Because he's
That's
yeah,
just.
it's the Ohio story. I agree. 100%. I
It's
agree with you.
just. That's where he loves it there. He loves the fans. He loves like he is Ohio born, Ohio raised. I think he will stay in Ohio even after retirement just because he was raised there. I don't know why anyone would want to stay in
And
Ohio, but
did you know that
it's just,
he still lives with his parents? I don't know if you knew that.
is he really?
So when he got drafted to the Bengals,
Yeah.
obviously, moved in with
Mm-hmm.
his parents, and there was an interview done before the championship game. They said, "Hey, we interview every year. Last year you were with your
Hmm.
parents still. Are you still with your parents?" They said, "Oh yeah, but I finally took down the Star Wars posters." And I'm like, this guy is about to get
Oh,
paid 50 to 60 mil a year, and it's like, oh yeah, I just took down the Star Wars posters for my room, and everyone was obviously laughing, but it's like, no, I'm being serious, guys, I'm being serious. Like, I just took them down. It's like, this
hey, if you got
guy,
a good relationship, like if you're not married,
no, I mean like he's still with
yeah,
his parents. He's saving all
yeah,
that, he's saving all that money. Like, good on you, man. Good on you.
that's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Joe Burrow has a good chance to be a lifer.
Hmm.
I still think that Mahomes is a lifer. I do believe that
I
because
do believe, yeah,
I would, again, like you said, the over under, does he leave anytime in his career? I'm gonna say no. Um, I
no,
think.
yeah,
Give me a quick. I'm gonna think of every quarterback. Who do I think could be a lifer? Mahomes, Burrow, I think are lifers. I agree. I don't think Allen's a
mhm.
lifer. I think he's gonna be gone by the end of his second contract. I agree
Trevor
with that.
Lawrence isn't a lifer. Jalen
No,
Hurts
God,
isn't a
no. That man
lifer.
is not a lifer. That man is not a lifer.
No,
Trevor Lawrence is not a lifer. Hurts,
Mac Jones isn't.
dude.
Um,
Hurts.
maybe Dak. I could see Dak.
I think Hurts is a
Um,
lifer. They're built like he was a second round pick. They gave up on a first overall like a second overall pick for him.
I think he'll have a similar story to Donovan McNabb just because it's what the Eagles do. He'll play 10, 12 years and he'll be like 70, 80%. It's like Cam Newton where that running quarterback can no longer really run, but still has a decent arm. So then he goes and has a one-off season somewhere. Like I think his majority of his career will be in Philly, but I think he'll have a 1 year, 2 year backup because he doesn't want to give it up yet
Yeah.
type of move.
Do you think Hurts? I'll name three. Just give you a quick yes no yes no.
Yep,
Lawrence, does he win a Super Bowl?
100%.
You think he does? Okay, I'd say
Yep.
no. I'd say no actually. Is
That,
it
uh,
is it with the Jags? Is it yes? Is it with the Jags?
I think he wins one with the Jags.
Okay.
I think in the next 5 years they will win one.
Okay. Okay.
I give them one,
I mean, that's one. Hey,
but
that's
I
one.
think
That's
they
one
win one.
man.
Yeah,
You can live 50 years with one Super Bowl. Let's be honest here.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah. Trevor. I think with their current coaching staff, I think their coaching staff is really good. They already
mhm,
have a coach that's already won a Super Bowl. They've already proved that they're a very grown up team. He's proved that he's a grown up. I think he's too talented to not win one.
yeah,
Um, I believe more in him winning one than Josh Allen. Like that's where I'm like just because of the coaching.
mhm,
That's where it's like you got to consider not just the talent. Is Josh Allen a better quarterback than him? Yeah, probably, but at the same time, you got to consider all the variables. So
yeah.
I think he'll win one.
Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Is he winning one?
I think since the NFC North is so weak, yeah.
East. NFC East.
No, I'm just the NFC. Like I said, North, but just the
The entire
NFC.
NFC.
Yeah,
You think he's gonna
the
win one?
entire NFC. Like who's the team next year besides the Eagles? Like 49ers have quarterback controversy. Like they're Green
Yeah.
Bay's talking about moving on from Aaron. Like all these other Dallas is like up and on. Like they just fired their offensive coordinator. Like Minnesota's not going to be good next year. They're not making the playoffs.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm with you. I think he'll win one. It
I
might
think
be
he'll win more.
it might be next year. I mean obviously it might be this year. But like if it's not this year, it might be next year he wins one.
I think it's already predestined that Chiefs are going to win this year. Like that's
Yeah,
just
I think there's a high chance that they will. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
it's Andy Reid returning to like I think it's already I'm not saying the NFL's rigged. I
But
it's really hard for me to say the Chiefs are not going to win this game.
yeah, no, I'm with you.
But anyway, yeah, I think he wins one even if it's not this year, maybe next year or another year, but yeah, I think he wins one.
Deshaun Watson.
I don't think he does.
Justin
I'm sorry.
Fields.
I'm
Justin
sorry. I think
Fields.
you guys paid him too much, and your team is getting older, and you got to deal with Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. And if Lamar resigns in your division,
Justin Fields. If you say
fine.
yes.
He was 100 yards
Oh
away
no
from
no no
being the
sorry.
top rusher.
Let me say the actual next Bears quarterback, Bryce Young. Sorry about that. Sorry, not Justin Fields. What a dumb
They
report
can't.
that was. What a
Like
dumb report that was. You don't think
the whole
Deshaun
city
Watson
of
could win one?
Chicago would just leave.
You
Like
don't think Deshaun Watson can win one in the next 5 years?
I don't. Listen, when I think of a Super Bowl quarterback, you got to take is if talent was what won Super Bowls, then Aaron Rodgers would have 10.
Mm-hmm.
He was undeniably one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah,
He's one of the best arms we've ever seen. I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback I've seen play.
yeah, I'm with you.
Um, Aaron Rodgers probably two, and Tom Brady's
No,
just
no,
really good at game
yeah,
managing.
he's not in there.
Like it's just talent wise, if talent won Super Bowls, Aaron would have 10, 50, like he would have a whole bunch just because he was the most talented. That being said, I think Deshaun's really talented. I don't think he has the leadership. I don't think he has the push, the drive. Like I think he might have before, but like barring everything that happened, like it's just we want to ignore that now and we want to move on and we want to just focus on football. It's really hard to do that when you're a guy next to him and you know all of the rumors. And it's I don't know if he can push him over the hump. I think Kevin Stefanski can. So I wouldn't be surprised if they win one. If I was taking the bet one or less, like it's the same thing we've done with all the other, I would take the under. Just the way I feel about it.
I
It's also the
think
Browns, and the Browns know how to roll these screw ups.
I think he will win one. I think it'll be
That's fair.
I think it'll be one of those Giants years where like it's everything lined
Mm-hmm.
up. I think it'll be
Yeah.
like we win one, the next year we miss the playoffs. Like, I think that's what's gonna happen is that we have
I think
one
he should have gone
really
to the
good
NFC.
year. What was that?
I think he should. Yeah, I think he should have gone to the NFC. If he wanted to win Super Bowls, he should have gone to the NFC.
Yeah,
He would have had a much easier path.
especially the NFC South. Like they were rumored, two
Mm-hmm.
teams in the NFC
Mm-hmm.
South. Yeah, but I think it'll be one really good year from the Browns. Whether that's
Yeah.
this year, the
Mm-hmm.
following year, the following whatever. This will be one
Yeah.
really good year where we go 13-4,
I
win
don't
the Super
disagree with
Bowl, and the following year we'll go like 7-10 or 7
Yeah.
whatever. Immediately, just like
It
we
could be
suck
one of
again.
those offset years. Yeah.
And I'm all for it. I'll give my
Mm-hmm.
firstborn's name, Deshaun Watson. If we
Oh
have
my
one,
God.
no. Let me explain exactly what it has to happen. We win the Super Bowl, and then the next year we go below 500. Because I know that's the most Browns thing ever to happen.
You also have to find a wife that is okay with you, mate, naming your
I never said
child.
they don't gotta know. They don't gotta know. Just his name is Timothy. Then like, yo, is his real name? Right down there. Yeah, thank you. Like I think that's what's gonna happen. Is we're gonna win a Super Bowl, and then immediately go 7-10, and everyone gets fired the very next year. And I know it's gonna happen. I'm all for it because that 1 year we got, I'm gonna live off that for the rest of my life. But I think one's the max. I don't think we can win more than one in the next 5 years.
One's your max, and I would take the under with the one.
What about Justin Fields then, huh? Bucko? Within the next five,
I think
10 years?
again, In the next 10 years, the NFC South is too bad for the Bears not to make the playoffs, and or not even the playoffs, but a Super Bowl. I just think the NFC is North and the NFC in general is just too weak of a division in a conference to not make a run at it. And I think he's too talented of a quarterback to not at least win one. I'm not. I think one might be our max though as well.
No, yeah,
Like I'm not expecting a dynasty from the Bears. I think we'll get one, and I don't think it's with this coach. I think we need to fire this coach and get another coach. But
yeah, I, I,
we'll
I,
see.
I really don't think it's gonna be. I don't think we'll be able to get a dynasty. This right now,
No,
man. I'm so sick of every time Tom
if
Brady
I had to
retires.
bet,
Yay,
honestly, I
a
would
new
still take the
dynasty.
under.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like our chances more because we have our
Mhm.
coach, we have our defensive staff, like we have the Miles Garrett, we have the
Yeah.
Denzel Ward, we have the Joel Batonio, we have
Mhm.
we have the Amari Cooper DPJ, we have the
Yeah.
running back. Do we have the quarterback?
Mhm.
Is the question.
Yeah, it's tough.
You guys, you're currently in the beginnings of we have to get that pass rusher, get that
Mhm.
corner, get that
Which
receiver.
Kansas or not Kansas City, San Diego is in talks. Not even San Diego anymore. LA Chargers are in talks of moving on from Khalil Mack and releasing him, and we
Why?
got 90 million cap because they can save 22 million in cap space if they release
But they
him.
didn't they trade you a second round pick for him?
100%, and they did 1 year with him and realized he's good but not great.
Even though what's his name, Joey Bosa was hurt the entire year. So it's not even
Yeah,
his fault.
it wasn't. He's a good, very good player. I really
Wow.
want him back.
Could Khalil
That's
Mack return
100%
to the
him.
Chicago Bears?
Yep.
He had 17 sacks. Oh no, that's tackles. My fault. My fault. He had 8 sacks. That's not a bad year. Oh my god. Hey, Cleveland Browns. Hey. If he gets cut, hey, I'll
You're
take
gonna
Khalil
have to
Mack.
pay him 22 million.
You have to pay him 22 million. Shut up. No, we don't. We have to pay him 1 million, and we'll be like, hey, you get to win a Super Bowl with us because it's Nick. Nick from Sports Stuff said we're gonna win one in the next five
He cares
years.
more. I don't think he cares about winning a Super Bowl. I think he cares more about money,
Eh,
personally.
yeah, we'll see.
He
We'll
signed with
see.
the Bears, man. He signed with the
No. He
Bears.
got traded. He got traded to the Bears. He got traded to the
He got
Bears.
and then signed an extension for the most highest paid player, defensive player of all time. He
Yeah,
cares more about money
but then he got traded to a team that's up and coming. So
because we get a second round draft pick from him.
yeah, whatever. But
He's not restructuring his deal.
he'll restructure for
He's
the
not
Cleveland
trying to
Browns.
stay with the up and coming team. He wants money.
He'll stay with the Cleveland Browns. So
We'll say.
anyway, moving on. NFL honor predictions. Let me get the full list of
We still
awards.
okay. We got three more young quarterbacks that could win. Let's
Uh,
let's hit them
name
real
them
quick.
off. Name them off. Name them off.
Mac Jones, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Dak
Sorry, Mac.
Prescott, yes or no?
No.
I think he wins one.
No.
That's just my opinion. We'll talk about that a different day. Kenny Pickett, yes or no?
Not Lamar. You're gonna go with the worst? No.
Well, Lamar's not really a young quarterback anymore, but yeah, we'll
Neither
go
is
with the.
Dak. Dak's like 30. Dak's like 35. Just
Okay, you said young quarterbacks, but whatever. Kenny Pickett, no. I agree. Kyler Murray, I don't think so either.
no. It's gonna.
So
No. That'd be a late year. That'd be like a late career win. Maybe.
Daniel Jones,
No. Backup. He could be a backup. He could be a
could
backup.
win one as a backup.
Go to
That is
Buffalo.
very
Go to
true.
Buffalo and sit. He could be a
Yep.
backup.
Davis Mills.
Yes. Journeyman. He'll be a backup. He'll be a
Yeah.
backup. He'll be a
Okay.
backup. Gardner
Yeah.
Minshew.
All right.
Yes, he's gonna be a backup.
Yep. All right. That's all the quarterbacks we can
Baker
move on now.
Mayfield. No. Well, Baker could win one in the XFL. Who knows? He could win a championship in the XFL.
We said Super Bowl. That's he can't
We
win a
don't know
Super
what they're
Bowl.
gonna call it. We don't know what they're gonna call it. They could be called the Super Bowl in the XFL. Who knows? But